possible.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, now I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around.
We're live.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Above the Fold. This is episode 16. So, yeah, we're back. We're going to talk about our impressions from the DC Fandome Event that was held last week. Sorry we missed you all last week. We decided to take a bit of a break because
Sure.
we've been doing this 16 episodes. But yeah, we're back. We want to talk some Gotham Knights, some of the Batman, Suicide Squad. So, but joining me this week are my co-hosts. That's Arrow.
Hola.
And Nuns and Moses.
Hello.
So, yeah, I mean, I want to start the stream with a quick little message. We had a bit of bad news yesterday. It's kind of a bit of a gut punch for all of us, I think. So Chadwick Boseman passed away from a 4-year battle with colon cancer. So many didn't know that he had cancer. So that's just a testament to everything he's done with his films. I mean, you've seen the process of filming. I'm sure you're aware of it. I mean, even getting fit for Black Panther, it takes a lot of you. And he's, doing that while battling cancer. That's just insane. But just want to have a quick little chat about that, because he meant a lot to a lot of different people. He empowered the black culture more than anyone could ever do at this point. He's got a lot to live. People have, he's so much to live up to there. But like, I've been scouring Twitter, lots of nice messages. Marvel Studios put one out. My heart's broken, and our thoughts go out to Chadwick Boseman's family. Your legacy will live on forever. Rest in peace. I thought that was really nice. But there was one message in particular that really spoke to me, because when a celebrity dies, you start to wonder, well, why does it hurt so much? Why? And this lady, so Twitter at Bernice King, she wrote, artists bring us experiences and invite us into their worlds of expression. Don't belittle a person mourning someone they've never met. We met Chadwick in the worlds in which he invited us, and we mourn. And I thought that was very powerful. So yeah, I'm just still processing, still scouring Twitter. There's lots of positivity around this individual, and yeah, man, this guy was a king. So, is there anything you guys want to say?
No, I mean they've said it perfectly there. I mean, just want to pay our respects. Really, he provided us with a true superhero to look up to. So yeah, rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even add any more to that. I think you pretty much eloquently, mentioned everything there.
Yeah.
I think especially now with what's happening especially in the States with the whole racism, discrimination, all of that, having that beacon within the Black community and seeing that person sort of just go out like that, it's very disheartening. But at the same time, it's something for all of us to sort of strive to be better.
Yeah.
And sort of just hold ourselves accountable and try to do what we can for each other and just keep doing it basically. So yeah, it's crazy. I still doesn't feel real to me. I just can't imagine, like, but yeah, just
it's
nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, like, Black Panther is up there as one of my favorite films, and the reason for that is they celebrated Black culture like I've never seen it, and that was so powerful. His performance, his acting, like the first time I saw Chadwick Boseman was in an episode of Castle with Nathan Fillion. And you look at him then and look at him now. It's it's come so far, and it's just a shame really that we've lost someone as of that caliber, basically, because he was a decent human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had to say something because we all felt like we needed to, because he was a hero on screen and off. But let's move on, shall we? Now this is a topic that has been rumored, people have suspected coming for a long time. So Warner Brothers Montreal, they finally announced the Gotham Knights video game. And I say finally announced, they've been rumoring it for, it's almost 2 years now, I reckon. So yeah, I mean, the trailer blew me away in a sense. Have you guys had a chance to have a look at the gameplay?
No, I've just seen the trailer. That's just the trailer, that's all.
Well, there was it was I mean, I watched the DC Fandome event, not knowing what to expect. I mean, Warner Brothers Montreal's last game was Batman Origins, Arkham Origins, which was not a bad game, but in the Arkham universe, it was the lesser of the three. But like this one, they're taking a different approach this time around. A majorly different approach. It's going to be a co-op game. So the four, like there's four characters to choose from, and it's a 2-player online co-op. So you've got your Robin, your Batwoman, and your Nightwing, and your Red Hood. So you probably wonder, well, where the hell's Batman? So he died in this one. So that's the premise of the game, is that you're playing as the Bat family, essentially. I mean, I don't quite know where Red Hood sits into all this, because he used to be a former Robin, but he's got guns, he kills people. So in the last Arkham game, he wasn't really a good guy. But it's interesting because they've taken a little bit of a different approach to what we expect from the Arkham games. So this is going to be more action RPG with RPG style leveling system. So so you can see damage numbers. It's not tied to the Arkham series, and it's essentially based around the Court of Owls storyline. So now this is a very popular storyline within the comic universe. It's been on my Amazon wish list for God knows how long. It's been a story I wanted to jump into for such a long time.
Yeah.
But the gameplay looks, it's. I mean, graphically, it's impressive. I mean, it's essentially you've seen the engine from Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight. It's a gorgeous game. So it will be like cross-generational game. It will be coming to your standard consoles, minus the Switch. So your PS4, your Xbox One, your PlayStation 5, Series X, and PC. And they've taken. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, this might be like a live as a service, game as a service type game, like Destiny. But apparently not. Apparently it's its own self-contained thing. So you're essentially, you play to unlock. You can unlock costumes, weapons, and range weapons. So of course it's open world, 2-player co-op. But I'm just in awe of this. I mean, it's very bold to kill off Batman. Very, very bold, I think. So
I think it's something different that we need. I think. Yeah, it looks looks really good. What I'm watching in the trailer now, it's something different. It's not just a Batman game anymore. They've expanded to, obviously 4 heroes, essentially.
Yeah.
It's something different, and I think this is gonna. I wouldn't mind getting this now. Looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a game I will be getting.
It was a bit of a shock, I'll be honest, because there was 2 gameplay trailers that they showed off, and one of them was with Robin and Batwoman. And it's these characters, like, I've never seen them. Like, Robin had like dash abilities, and Batwoman had tonfas, and I've not really seen them use anything like that. And of course, we've got Red Hood, shooting guns and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how this plays. Because I was making notes as I was watching the live reveal, and you can do like tag team attack combos, like I mentioned, arcade elements, XP systems, health bars per enemies. That's new to the franchise, and of course damage numbers. But when the developers were asked why do they take away Batman, they responded with they wanted to take away any feeling of safety, which I thought was interesting. So it's basically a story of the Bat family and how they're going about the Court of Owls.
But I guess it's just Court of Owls. Just to jump in, I guess it's just to take away any sort of notion that at some point you get to play as Batman. Like this is all the heroes that you have. You got to make it work. It's like you don't have that mindset. Like, when I get to, let's say, 70% of the game, this is where I then get to play as Batman. Like, from the very get-go that it's going to be purely a different experience. So I understand and I appreciate that, to be honest. I think that's a good way to set the stage. And it's co-op. I like that. To me, I'm always, I think I give games more brownie points if they have the ability to do games in co-op. I think that's always like extra brownie points for me. So quite cool to see how that's going to play, with playing with either you or Nuns or wherever, going through the entire Arkham's or Gotham City, I should say. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, we've not really seen an Arkham-like co-op game. So it would be interesting to see how it works, because you saw like Batwoman have her traversal abilities, Robin can teleport, Nightwing's extremely acrobatic. But what about Red Hood? Is he catch a cab or something?
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Yeah, exactly. I just I'm disappointed there's no Batman, because Batman will always be my favorite superhero. He's by far he's always been my favorite. So yeah, I mean, I'm extremely interested in this. I was sold as soon as I saw Red Hood. If you look at my little collection, you saw my Red Hood collection, you'd know how much of a fan I am of the anti-hero type character, and that's what he is. And if you guys are ever interested in watching any of the Batman animated films, check out Under the Red Hood. It is by far the best animated film I've ever seen. It's powerful, it's fantastic, and that's what made me fall in love with Red Hood. So,
do you not think?
so yeah.
Do you not think this technically isn't classed as a Batman game?
No,
I know
it's not.
It's a Gotham Knight, so I understand how it's going to be. I know it's going to be weird that Batman isn't there, but the Gotham Knights, it's not a Batman game, so I'm hoping that there is an official Batman game later down the line.
Wow,
So
yeah,
all about Batman to kind of
that's the question, because
fill the hole.
Montreal was the backup studio for Rocksteady. So we'll go into what Rocksteady announced later on, because there are a few stories. There is some Batman content out there to scratch that itch, Adam. So don't you worry, because we did see the first proper look at the Batman. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll just say this, and I'll ask you what your thoughts are. Every time they announce a new Batman, I'm always skeptical, and I don't know why. Because, like when they announced Ben Affleck as Batman, I was like, that's a terrible choice. When they announced that Christian Bale would be Batman, I was like, well, I can't picture it. And each time they've blown me away. And I felt the same way about what's his name, Robert Pattinson. So yeah, I'm expecting to knock it out of the park. But I'm curious. I know, Adam, you've watched the trailer. Femi, have you had a chance to check it out?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
I watched the trailer the moment I could get my hands on it. Okay, it's not bad. I thought it was actually better than I had. Okay, I think I went into it with a very low expectation, because I have seen Robert Pattinson in other movies, well, notably Twilight. So I was like, how is he gonna pull off the whole, emo, like all covered in diamonds, shiny and everything, and then play this role? I was like, how is he gonna do it? How is he gonna convince me that he's not that person and he's actually the Dark Knight, And I thought, just purely from what I saw, I feel that it's better than I expected. But yeah, I just need to see the movie, I guess. That's the only way now. It's like, I need to see the movie. But I think from what I saw, I felt okay. He's making me believe. So
so the trailer we've seen, that is only 25% of the film. That's all that's done. That's
all that's done. Yeah.
Matt Reeves.
That's only a couple of minutes long trailer, isn't it? So is the film going to be like 10 minutes long?
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised. Adam, I'll get your thoughts in a second, but this is a different Batman in a sense, because there's a reason why it's called The Batman. It's based loosely on the 2004 The Batman animated series, which is more of it's a younger Batman. Obviously, it's Robert Pattinson, and it's year 2, so he's still learning. People are still afraid of the Batman. They haven't really seen him as a symbol of hope at all yet, and they're like I said, they're still afraid of him. And the city's just still full of crime and corruption. But Adam, I don't really know your opinion on any of the Batman films. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I like it how it's getting back to the realism of things. How I know it's only like a year in or so since Batman was started. So I like it how obviously his car is like a makeshift kind of Mustang. You can still see his body armor that's made of bits of like riot gear, that sort of thing. His car's in the making of getting built, that sort of thing. It's all parts he could pull together. I know he's rich and stuff, but he hasn't got that kind of facility yet. And I like it how that when it zooms into obviously his underground kind of Batcave. It's not what you're used to. It's not full of he's Batwing and all that sort of thing. He's just got his motorbike. Sorry, 2 motorbikes. He's daily driver, and he's nighttime driver.
Like everybody else has, motorbikes, a daily driver. You're pretty much a standard dude, yeah. Pretty much an everyday citizen, yeah.
I've got 5 or 6,
Yeah.
I'm beating Batman. Yeah. But then you got his car, which is just bits and pieces put together. I like it. I like how it's not way over the top. They've kind of brought it down a peg, so it's interesting. It is very, because I'm just used to him having everything. If he needs something, he calls an Alfred, and it's there.
Happens to have the gadgets, yeah.
Yeah, he happens to have the right gadget, and I'm hoping it's going to be more fists and batarangs and sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely it seems like a darker tone. I mean, Ben Affleck's version was very dark as well. That was based on Frank Miller's depiction of Batman, which was a very a more veteran character who's been around for a long time, been doing it for a long. They acknowledge it in the Justice League film and the Batman v Superman films. So seeing a younger version, I'll be interested to see how that compares to that of Batman Begins, because I mean, if they can top any of those films, I think we're in for a treat. I mean, Arkham Knight will always be one of the best. My favorite Batman will always be Michael Keaton, but I'm interested to see another take on it. So we do have some more information of pretty much who's in the game. So we're getting a bit of a mix-up. So it's Zoe Kravitz, and she's playing Selena Kyle. So, that's Catwoman. So I'm not particularly familiar with this actress, but God, she's stunning. So yeah, and of course Robert Pattinson is Bruce Wayne, Batman. Paul Dano is the Riddler. So you may not recognize that name, but I guarantee you'd recognize him because he's been in a lot of stuff. The last film that I remember him was was it Day and No? I can't remember. That Day and Night. There was a film with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise, he was in. And I can't pick. He's one of those faces that you've seen. He's been in a lot of different films.
Yes. He was Prisoner. He wasn't even The Prisoner. There Will Be Blood as well. Little Miss Sunshine. So
The Girl Next Door.
Yeah. And I thought that was a great fit. That was a great fit for the Riddler because I can see it. I can picture it. So I mean that was quite interesting. Sempiternal says the Bale trilogy, absolutely the Bale trilogy. That's the only Batman you know. No worries. Well, that's one of the better Batmans. There's some Batman films out there you want to avoid, like The Plague. But it depends who you ask, really. That's a good question, actually. I'll ask that to you guys and the audience. Femi, who's your favorite Batman?
I'm gonna go with Christian Bale, to be honest. I he made me feel like he is actually real life the Dark Knight. He made me believe this is how Bruce Wayne was. He played Bruce Wayne as I imagined he would play, and then really made Batman look like absolute Dark Knight. So I think I'll go with him. Just before you push over to you ask some questions to Adam. The Riddler. So I know Jim Carrey played the Riddler. I can't remember which Batman. And he played that role stupidly well. I remember that. I remember him very, very well. So I'm curious to see how how Paul Dano is going to feel this show, as well as Robert Pattinson. These are two big shoes that both actors will have to fill, and it's going to be tough. I mean, moving from Christian Bale. Okay, we had Ben Affleck for a very short time, but my Batman is Christian Bale, and then forever. It's going to be interesting, but Christian Bale for sure.
It's interesting you mentioned Jim Carrey as the Riddler, because that character that he embodied in that film is a far cry to what is actually in the comics. It's like night and day, different variations of that one character. But yeah, I mean that was Batman. I think that definitely was Batman Forever, wasn't it? I believe. I was thinking, but yeah, there's been a few Batman. But Adam, what about you? What would you say your favorite Batman is?
I like. People might not like this, but I like Ben Affleck. I like him as Batman
I like it.
in the Justice League and stuff. I think that was my. Yeah, Christian Bale is always there, but even Adam West, the good old Adam West.
Yeah. Oh, gee.
Oh yes.
But
Great.
yeah, for me, I think Ben Affleck. I mean, hey, you never know. Robert Pattinson, he might be the next one.
I can't believe nobody mentioned George Clooney's Batman. I'm disappointed with you guys.
Well, wait. The only thing I remember from
Nah.
that particular Batman is that how much Vaseline on lip balm they gave them because their lips were so shiny. I was like, why? Why? Sorry, I know it's a weird thing to sort of remember, but it was so shiny. I don't understand why, but yeah. So let's forget. Anyway.
What got me was that the suits had nipples.
Yes.
That
is true.
Once I noticed that, I could not keep my eyes off it.
Oh, that is true. Oh my god, that is true. But I guess they need somewhere for your nipples to go to, right? So
yeah, nice little slot there. That's lovely. That's exactly what we all need in our everyday.
Otherwise, you're going to get flat nipples. Nothing worse than having flat nipples.
That'd be great.
So yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it now more than ever. I mean, you think Robert Pattinson and you think Twilight, and that always gets some like a negative connotation to it. But Twilight, the first film, wasn't that bad. I thought maybe it was just me, but I'm interested to see what it can do.
I thought the first Twilight was okay. I didn't care for the other ones. But just quickly. Sempi says, okay, but if we're talking about Batman, can we just acknowledge some of the great Batman animated series, though? Okay, so I think Jaden also mentioned I'm gonna enjoy my Batman animated series now. Even Justice League Batman was fantastic, man. 10 out of 10 Batman. I like Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond absolutely was great. That was my Batman as well. I love Batman Beyond. It was so good, so good. Yes, agree. Were you guys like a big fan of the animated cartoons and whatnot?
Yeah, the original is I pretty much binged that. I had so many toys from that TV show. I actually bought the box set when they remastered it for Blu-ray. I bought that for my uncle for I think it was for Christmas last year, which he loved. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the only animated series really. Batman Beyond was amazing.
It was so good. Oh my god, so good.
But I just wanted, OG Batman. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take in with this because there's still a lot we don't know. We mentioned Paul Dano as the Riddler. Alfred is Andy Serkis, which is interesting. A phenomenal actor. So I'll be interested to see his take. Colin Farrell is rumored to be the Penguin. I don't know why that's rumored. Probably because the amount of makeup you saw the Penguin in the trailer.
Yeah. He was driving away, wasn't he? He was getting chased by the Batman. Yeah, that's what you saw him in the trailer, didn't you?
That's a weird cast for the Penguin. I would feel like anyway, but I guess they have their reason for it.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the kind of prosthetics and stuff they want to do. Whether he's just because he can do a very good Cockney accent. I mean, I think it's Irish, isn't he? So he's not too far off.
No.
So yeah, I mean,
all the Cockneys out there hating you right now. Totally different. What are you on about?
I can see. So that could, yeah.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to imagine because you've not got anything to compare it to until it's been done. It's the same with Heath Ledger. I could not picture that his performance as the Joker. He embodied that character and it worked.
Yeah.
So every time I think of the Joker, I think of him. So if they can get as high as that, if any of these characters can imitate that level of immersion for that one particular character, then I think we're all in for a treat because the Riddler and the Penguin, I wouldn't say they've had the best showing on screen. As much as I love Jim Carrey, don't get me wrong, but that was not the Riddler that's in the comics or the TV shows. So yeah, let's let's move on. We've got a couple more topics because there was a lot to take in over the DC Fandome event. It was on quite late for me. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I couldn't stay awake long enough. I watched there's a Wonder Woman trailer. There was a nice little panel there, and they finally showed off James Gunn's Suicide Squad film cast reveal. So we do have a trailer for this. So I'm very curious to hear from you guys, because genuinely I don't know what to think. And I love James Gunn. I've got a lot of faith in him as a director. But the Suicide Squad franchise has always been less than stellar. The last film wasn't. It had its highs and had its major lows. Excuse me. So. Well, we've got the trailer running. So we've got Idris Elba as Bloodsport. These I'm just going to name a few because there are lots. There are lots that were announced. Margot Robbie is, of course, returning as Harley Quinn. John Cena as Peacemaker. His character is hilarious. So Joel Kinnaman is returning as Rick Flag. Fantastic actor. Nathan Fillion is TDK. Now, anyone who knows me knows I have a bit of an obsession with Nathan Fillion, but I have no idea who TDK is, and the costume looks ridiculous.
Never heard of
so, yeah, this is the Adam. This is the TV Suicide Squad reveal, mate, not the game.
All right, I thought we were going in order the run of show. That's why.
So we're looking at
that's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah. I did skip ahead a bit there. 'Cause I wanted to, keep the films together, but that's my fault. But we've got Michael Rooker as Savant. Michael Rooker seems to be in almost every James Gunn film these days. So, but yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting cast. There's a lot of recognizable faces that you'll see. And I'm just curious to know how people think about Suicide Squad as a whole. We can jump back to the game as well, because I genuinely don't know how I feel about Suicide Squad because the last film kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I'll be honest. Femi, what are your thoughts?
I'm starting to try and remember because when you're bringing this, when you're talking about this movie. I was trying to remember when I watched it and how I felt about it afterwards. I literally, when you do something just on autopilot, that's how I watched that movie, just on autopilot. I didn't even, I can't say there was nothing memorable about it, to be honest. So it can't get any worse. Is that possible?
True. So I guess that's how you enjoy it. Is having very, very low expectations.
Yeah. I like the cast. I like the fact that John Cena is there. He's always hilarious. Nathan Fillion is there, fantastic actor as well. We have Margot, Idris Elba as well. So I think they have a very solid cast. I'm not saying the cast before was shit, but maybe the script was shit. So maybe this time around. So maybe this time around the script and with this new director, it might end up being a lot better. There's definitely a lot of potential in the very good Suicide Squad movie. I think it just needs that right combination of script and obviously direction and whatnot. So I'm hopeful.
I thought it was interesting that Will Smith's not returning as Deadshot because
I was just about to mention that. I love Deadshot. Oh, I thought he played a fantastic Deadshot. I love the scene where they took him out and gave him the assortment of weapons and he didn't believe that there were going to be bullets in there, and he shot and he smelt the barrel of the gun and thought, holy shit, they've actually given me real weapons, and just owned the firing range. And you're like, it kind of brought a bit of goosebumps, thinking, that's how good he is, and you get all the crowd around and going, holy shit, why the hell did we give him these weapons? He could take us all out. But again, Will Smith played a fantastic Deadshot, I thought.
Yeah, I don't I don't think the actors were the issue with that movie. But yeah, carry on, sir.
No, you're right. I was going to say the same thing. The actors that they nailed, the actors, the storyline. I mean, the one thing that, in fact, they didn't nail was Jared Leto's Joker. Um, that was not a depiction of Joker that I've ever seen and I've ever
That
really
was a
liked.
weird
That
one.
was hard.
Actually, just now you mentioned it.
Mm.
That was a very. I was like, I don't maybe they went too much on one of his one of his personas. 'Cause I know, yeah, I think they went too much of that extreme. Yeah, because he has quite a few, so they didn't really have it even kills. They just went like, you know what, just do this part of the Joker to the max, and yeah, we got that, which was great.
And
I mean, he didn't see much of him, I suppose,
him
did he?
from the entire film, and it wouldn't have made a lick of difference to the end.
To be honest, I didn't even know what it. Yeah, not if you didn't mention Joker, I didn't even remember him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He wasn't in much of the film.
Yeah.
He was just like, I think he was more of a, we'll put Joker in, and it's like the anticipation of Joker just being there, that sort of thing, and just in the background. I think that's what the fans wanted. But yeah, you didn't see much of him, and two, you're right. I didn't find he played a very good Joker, but we were there for the Suicide Squad, not Joker. At the end of the day, I think.
I think he's in. I think the entire purpose of him is just to set up Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That's it, really. I mean, of course, she got her own film, which I still haven't seen yet.
I haven't seen
it.
Which I keep forgetting about. But she's definitely making waves at the moment. I think she's one of the better casts for any of the characters. Joel Kinnaman is a waste of talent as Rick Flag, as far as I'm concerned, because that guy he's got range, man. So yeah, I mean, I'm again, the film's coming out next year. Probably going to expect some delays. There's always going to be delays. So caveat at this point.
Delays?
I think the trailer has done very little to excite me in any way. My confidence is in James Gunn as a director more than anything. He brought us obviously Guardians of the Galaxy films, and as a person,
my all-time favorite,
and I think he's got potential. So yeah, I mean, let's backtrack then, because we did obviously due to my mishap. So Suicide Squad also had a video game. So it's Kill the Justice League. So this is being done by Rocksteady. This is the guys behind the Arkham franchise, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. So it's been 5 years since we have had anything from these guys. I say 5 years. They did churn out a very cool Batman game, which is very cool, very short, but it's essentially a tech demo. So I won't count that as a full game. So Arkham Knight, and now Suicide Squad. And we still have another 2 years before this game actually comes out. So why on earth
2 years? Didn't realise that.
Come with just a CG trailer? That's what I want to know. Because there is a lot to unpack, but a CG trailer, really?
Well,
because it's still 2 years off, isn't it? They've got nothing else but.
Exactly. I mean, it's better than a logo. Don't get me wrong. And this is Rocksteady. They are famous for taking their time. Like a CD Projekt Red, it's done when it's done, and I appreciate that. But I'd rather just not know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe because I'm still on the fence about the whole Suicide Squad, and there's a film and a game coming out within a year of each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's dive into the details, because there is a bit to unpack. So this one, like Gotham Knights, it's a co-op game. This one is a 4-player co-op game. You can play by yourself, and the rest will be AI bots. You can switch between characters at any time. Annoyingly, there's no gameplay shown, so we don't really know what to expect. But they've got some interesting takes. I mean, Captain Boomerang is back. He's always been the running joke of the Suicide Squad. But in this, he actually looks like a bit of a badass, because he can dash around and teleport. And of course, Deadshot's back. We've got King Shark. and Harley Quinn, of course. There's no Suicide Squad. It's just become like synonymous with the Suicide Squad, I feel. So yeah, I mean, very little information was provided, like I mentioned, but you can like customize your weapons, your skills, and this one again, like Gotham Knight, is not a game as a service. It's a self-contained video game. I just I don't know. With the past few months, we've essentially just game reveals have just been CG trailers, and there's not enough gameplay being shown. Even though I'm excited to see what they've got in store for us, to see Rocksteady's vision. I don't know. I don't know how I feel, but what are your thoughts, Femi?
Again, there's not much we can go on because there's no gameplay. We're just
it's just
seeing,
the tone, really. We can go on.
Yeah, and the details that we have. Again, this has co-op, which with the Arkham, is it Arkham Knights? I keep freaking forgetting.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
This one has 1 to 4 instead, which is even better. So the details that we have is great. Now, this feels, just looking at my history of superhero games, I don't play that many. So I'm just thinking, there's a lot of superhero games coming out that I'm going to be experiencing properly for the first time myself. I know we had Batman, Arkham Asylum games and whatnot, the Batman games and whatnot. I haven't played those, but so for me, I've not really experienced that many superhero games besides the Capcom versus Marvel type fighting games. So for what we know, I'll keep my eye on this one. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I don't need this in my life. I'll be like, okay, again, it has co-op, 4 players. Okay, let's see now. Let's just see what we get in terms of, is it gonna be like I'm just thinking it's gonna be pretty much like, you have your other mates playing with you, doing different mission objectives. Or is it gonna be like turn-based, like XCOM? Or Divinity.
Yeah, exactly. Because we genuinely don't know at all what to expect, do we?
We have no idea. So
it's probably going to try to go up against the Marvel Avengers game, I think. That sort of scenario. But again, you never know. You never know.
I keep forgetting the game exists. So
yeah, I would like to think that as well. It's not the best. From what I played anyway.
I mean, I'm gonna try and remain optimistic because this is Rocksteady, and they have a proven track record. Say what you want about Arkham Knight, the vehicle sections, whilst they overstayed their welcome, the game was phenomenal. And Femi, if you ever want to revisit, I would definitely recommend. Obviously, start with Arkham Asylum, work your way up, because there's some phenomenal stories in there that. I think thinking about it now, it's been a while. I think I'm long overdue to revisit that franchise myself. Know that like Arkham Knight is better on PC because when it launched, it had a disastrous launch with all the bugs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really much else to go on. All we know is that it's coming to PS5, Series X, PC in 2022. So this is a next-gen title, essentially. So we can expect next-gen things from Rocksteady. I mean, look at Arkham Knight. That's still 5 years old, and it looks stunning. Absolutely stunning still. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot, really. There's obviously there's a lot of stuff at the DC event. Like there's information on the Flash, but we just wanted to cover these 4 topics specifically because we love Batman and everything in that universe. Well, I do. So yeah, I mean, Adam, I'll pass it over to you, mate. We've got some notable stories this week.
Yeah. Right, sorry, get my thing there. Just was busy sorting something else out. So other notable stories. We're just going to fly over these. So there's a couple of things we thought that obviously it's not our cup of tea, but we'll mention them just for you guys out there. The upcoming Flash film will have both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton returning as Batman.
Yes.
Also,
Flash.
I didn't.
It's the same Flash from the Justice League film.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked him
it is
as
a
the Flash.
continuation of that, but they're bringing in a lot of because it's a different universe. They're bringing in multiple universes, dimensions is the word.
Michael Keaton as
Right.
Batman.
That's why, yeah, they're bringing him back. They did show off a picture of the Flash with Keaton in the background, which we suspect was Keaton, but it obviously was because I know the suit. So yeah, it's celebration almost.
Cool.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. There's a cross-gen edition of Call of Duty Black Ops and Cold War. Means no free PS5 Series X upgrade. Which is a pity.
Scary.
Yeah, it's
you essentially got to pay extra if
To
you
get
want
the
to crash,
upgrade.
if you want to play it on the next gen.
Yeah, which is
Control's done
horrendous.
it, NBA, and I think there's a couple others.
We've
But
talked
it's-
about this a lot recently in the past few episodes, and it's you're right. It is getting scary, but then we're just going to go towards Microsoft. Microsoft is pushing everything towards free upgrades, which is good.
I
So,
wonder how this Black Ops. I know we're not really touching on this specifically, but just I hope it's going to return back to its roots. Would we have zombies as well? Would we
Yes, there
have
will
dolphin
be.
diving?
Yeah,
we
dolphin
have-
I
diving.
hope so, because
Would we
I
have
remember the
dolphin
dolphin dive king here, Mr. Arrow.
Oh my
Dolphin dive my way to victory, man. It's great. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I want to touch on that real quick. When not long after me and Femi first met, he was always playing Black Ops 1 with his housemates, and he
Yeah.
was always dolphin diving, and he was always going on about that bloody Galil. Like, it's synonymous in my head now when I think of that game. Is him and Femi?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Bring
But
back
I
the dolphin
mean,
dive.
It's for me personally, just a quickly last thing on it. It's hard for me to get excited for a Call of Duty game anymore. They keep ruining multiplayer. I mentioned this before the show, that it's just jam packed full of microtransactions, and it always leaves a bad taste in my mouth personally. Campaign rocks though, so I'm not gonna win a shoot.
I did like Warzone. I will be honest with you. And
That's
even
technically
that
its own thing, though,
multiplayer
isn't it? I don't
side.
think that's-
Well,
Yeah.
no, I like the Warzone multiplayer side of things. I did like that. I did enjoy it. I was absolutely terrible, like normal FPS games, but again, I thought they brought it back a bit more from what it used to be. It was a lot with I hated all the jetpacks and all the really futuristic stuff. That was horrendous. I just didn't enjoy that. But yeah, they've kind of toned it down a bit, and I enjoyed it. I did. But anyways, moving on. We have resurfaced is Crisis Remastered, coming to console and Epic Game Store on the 18th of September. At the retail price is £26.99 or $29.99. We'll have ray tracing on Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, and high quality textures up to 8K, HDR support, temporal anti-aliasing, screen space, directional occultation. Do I really go through all this? Because some of the stuff I haven't got a clue what it means.
There's a lot. I mean,
there's
just
motion
copy
blur,
and
which I
paste
think
specs, but
every game should not have motion blur. We should just delete that from our lives, please.
Funny, like I don't even notice it. Till people say, "Wait, do you have motion blur?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do." It doesn't really. To be honest,
can't get used
some
to it.
games.
yeah.
Yeah, it does all depend on what sort of game, but yeah, if I going through the settings, I try and flick through the settings before every game.
oh yeah,
Now I stream exactly to kind of keep them so the stream doesn't freak out. But anyways, if I see motion blur in there, I'll just untick that and not worry about it
that's
anymore.
the first thing that I turn off.
Yes.
I turn that off and I turn sharpening all the way down. That's
Yeah,
stuff like that. I mean,
but yeah,
I mean, as well as motion blur, you're seeing a lot of games have chromatic aberration in, which is only a thing with photo. So it's very interesting. I mean, Mortal Shell uses that in a really nice way. But anyway,
Oh, anyways.
tangent.
Sony is exploring the idea of bringing more first-party games to PC. I might touch on while Sony is exploring, but Sony is also exploring. They've just requested a patent for their motion controllers to recognize you as signing in. So you would pick up a controller, take it around to your friend's house, and his PS5 would automatically recognize your controller, how it's been picked up, and sign you in. So not using any username and passwords. We'll touch on that more the more details we get. But I did say that. I thought that was worth mentioning. That's
It'd be
quite good
interesting to see if
technology
that
there.
actually comes into fruition, because the technology does need explaining. I'd
Yeah.
be worried that someone might accidentally log into my account just because we hold it the same way.
Look,
We'll
if they're
see.
planning to bring Bloodborne and Spider-Man and God of War to PC, that'll be great. Okay,
Yeah,
that'll be. I'll be
Finally.
all over that, and yeah, I'm ready. That'll be
Anyways,
great.
moving on. PS5
I
pre-order
consider that.
registration is open, but first round is invite only. What do you guys think about that? About having an invite only? Because I thought it was a bit.
much the box is, please. Can you give me some value on the box? That'd be great. Can I know how much damage it's going to be to me wallet?
No, that is literally going to be told. That's going to be mentioned a day before release. I think people are going to go, yes, we'll pre-order this, and go, oh look, it's $1,000.
Unbelievable.
But Arrow, it's an invite only. This is a prestigious. You were cherry picked.
You've got to pay extra for this.
Themselves.
They can cherry pick my bum, and I don't care. Okay, I need to know how much the damn thing costs. Okay, that's what
this game of chicken they're playing. I mean, this whole thing is confusing me because PlayStation have dominated this generation. Why are they so afraid to announce their price first?
I mean, there has been some rumours and some leaks where it's around about, I think, $499, but
because it's always
$3, $4.
They'll Sony especially will change their price depending on what Xbox does. They've done it they did it this current generation. That's how they got ahead. It's making the box cheaper and better, and they're afraid that Xbox will do the same to them. Which if they're smart, they will.
But anyways,
I think this is a bit shitty. To be honest. I think it's a bit sly.
I thought that as well.
Jaden says it's probably going to be $1,000, which is, if it is, absolutely not.
I'm not getting that.
Wait, are we talking about USD
rupees
or
rupees?
What currency?
But anyways, moving on. But one other thing worth mentioning is quote of the day. We should put out a T-shirt. Is in Arrow's words, they can go cherry pick my bum. We should have that on the T-shirt.
That should be the name of the next title of your channel.
I actually make a T-shirt like that. I'm never going to play around.
I'll save the points now.
I'll do that.
Awesome. Anyway, to the good things, to the good bits of the day. Free games. So PS4 Plus games on the 2nd of September is Street Fighter 5 and PUBG.
Hey.
PUBG that should have been free a long time ago. I think is that not died? Is that not dead yet? Anyways, games with gold. September X1 The Division. X1 that is the right. Okay, so the Division is from the 1st of the 9th to the 30th of the 9th. So you got a full month to get that with games with gold. Unwritten Tales the 16th of September to the 15th of October. And from the 360 is D-Blob. Never even heard of that game. But that is the first September.
Recognize it if you saw it. I'll be honest.
Is it a blob by any chance?
Essentially, I've never played it, but I keep seeing it everywhere, and I don't know why.
I probably
because
will.
If it's like there isn't any blob in that's a serious debate, to be honest.
There's definitely blobs in that.
There's just a Rick roll in the background there, isn't it? Yeah. Again, coming from the Xbox 360 is Armed and Dangerous. So that is from the 16th to the 9th to the 30th of September. And free with Epic Games Store. I am loving Epic Games Store recently. Hitman is one of them, which is a sandbox shooter, which I picked that up straight away day one when that was free. I love that game. Shadowrun Collection, so it's a turn-based tactical RPG. It includes Returns, Dragonfall, and Hong Kong. I did download that as well. I've never heard of it, so just because it was free, basically. So I will soon let you know how that is when I eventually pick that up and play it.
I plan on playing Shadowrun Collection. Turn-based tactical RPGs have become my bread and butter.
Yeah, I've noticed that's the sort of games that you hover around. So yeah, I might pick it up. This, like I say, recently I've played everything these days. Whatever's popped up on my stream, I'm playing tons. There's a lot of things. It's not just Tarkov anymore. It's whatever. It's mainly free games at the moment. Epic Games is kind of pushing free games my way, and other places are pushing free games my way,
And
I'm just
you know why
loving
they're
it.
doing it, don't you? They want you to build your game library
Yes,
as much as possible,
Yeah.
so you feel more invested in
That's fine.
purchasing games.
Keep doing that,
Yeah.
Epic. Keep
Works.
doing that.
It's pro-consumer,
yeah. I'm all up for that. I'll be an Epic Game Boy, you know.
Arkham Knight was I think Batman Arkham Knight was one of the first free games.
Was
Memory
it?
serves.
Awesome.
I think so, yeah.
Anyways, we need to wrap this up because we are going a bit over schedule. Anyways, over to you,
Yeah,
Mr.
so-
Squat.
Squat.
Thank you. So yeah, let's go around the proverbial table. Femi, what have you been playing, streaming, watching this week?
We had a Jackbox party yesterday where we thought Jaden was the alien, and he wasn't an alien, but was still good though because we flushed him out of the tube. It's great. So we've been playing a lot of Zero, Horizon Zero Dawn, and also Fall Guys, and we played Keep on Talking and Nobody Explodes, which was fantastic as well. So next week, I'll be playing more Mortal Shell. I will be doing Neo as promised. I'll be jumping back on Neo again to do the
Really?
DLC. Yeah, because
Why would you do that to yourself?
I said to
DLCs?
Jaden, like, if you finish Bloodborne, I will jump back on Neo,
Yeah.
and he has. So, good
Oh,
night,
bless
Sampi. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you, man. Sleep well.
Yeah, take it easy, buddy.
So yeah, so that's pretty much what is going to be up on the schedule. Again, more Jackbox games and more Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, and more, not more, but debut flight sim game as well on Friday and Saturday. So a lot of community type games. Exciting.
Lots of a lot of screen time.
A lot of screen time, correct.
Yeah, you end up with glasses one of these days, mate. No time staring at that screen.
I think I've probably had to invest in one. But yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at A_R_O_2NG. I stream Monday to Saturdays, and we play a lot of awesome video games. So yeah, come check me out.
You don't stream on
Fantastic.
Arrow 2NG though, do you? It's just Arrow on Twitch.
Just A_R_O. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So, are you watching anything new? I mean, I'm been getting a lot of anime recommendations. So, are you watching anything at the moment? Just real quick.
So God of Misfits, and yeah, God of Misfits. It's really good, but the protagonist is just OP. Which, if you like OP characters, then
I
yeah,
like
it's great.
One Punch Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and there's also Decadence as well, which I'm going to be jumping in with a couple of people as well. So that's going to be interesting. And then SOA Alicization, the new season.
Still going,
That's still going. So definitely check that. And Great Pretender and Million Detective. All
Great Pretenders, so good.
The Pretender was great. I'm not sure. Pretender or Great Pretender,
Yeah.
and Million Dollar Detective. Both fantastic anime. So yeah.
I started watching Pretender last night. It's
good,
and
isn't
the
it?
animation's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, well, Adam, what about you, mate? What are you currently playing, streaming, watching? Anything you want to mention?
Yeah. I've just started Wasteland 3. I'm finding that rather interesting. I'm liking the whole tactical RPG sort of stuff. I watched you quite a bit this morning on Gears Tactics, which is kind of playing Wasteland 3 and seeing you play Gears Tactics. I'm willing to pick that up as well and give that a go. But anyway, I'm playing that game, yeah, Wasteland. Myself and Neon have been playing a lot of Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain 2 is... I recommend that game all day. It's such a good game to quickly pick up, jump in with a few friends, or even by yourself. And yeah, that's a fantastic game. But again, I've been so many games I've picked up over the past week or so. There's stuff like Oxygen. Well, Oxygen not included. I've played a couple of times in my offline mainly. I played it once online. God's Trigger, which was a free game. Was it Gungeons?
I don't think
Gungeons is another free game.
Enough hours in the day for us to go through every single game you've played.
No,
You are
there isn't.
king
Fall
of the
Guys,
variety,
Gang
my
Beasts
friend.
I've picked up, Rogue Company, which I've been playing with Onos quite a lot.
good game.
That is still a fantastic game. But again, Hitman I have just picked up, so I will be playing Wasteland and Hitman a lot more on stream, and I might play the rest offline. But yeah, when it comes to films and stuff and TV programs, I haven't been watching much. I haven't had time. When I haven't been streaming or haven't been playing games, I've been watching other streams. So I've never, when I've had my tea, I sometimes like to watch Mr. Iglesias. I don't know, he's a comedian, but he's got his own show on Netflix, his own series on Netflix. That's quite good. And the Umbrella Academy I kind of watched a few weeks ago, but dropped off that.
Very good, that. Really like that.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic series. I need to pick that back. I'm only up to episode 7, I think it is. Do need to start rewatching that. But yeah. But
Fantastic.
Again, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/nunsandmoses and on Twitter at nunsandmoses_live.
Fantastic.
So over to you. You're not getting away with it.
So,
what are you streaming and watching?
So I've just finished streaming Mortal Shell. I've gone into depth on my streams of how much I like that game, and I continue to play it. It's phenomenal. I am looking for the next game to scratch that itch. Well, I was until I realised that I still haven't finished Neo 2. I did one stream of that maybe like a month or so ago. So I do need to finish Ghost of Tsushima, because again I started that but not finished it. So we'll see how far I get really with either of those games. But I'm going back to Sekiro just to scratch that itch. It's that bad. So I definitely have a. No, I put it on hold because I said to myself, finish the games you've got, and then. Yeah, and then that didn't happen. I've got more games and didn't finish those either, or started them. Like I've started Final Fantasy VII Remake, not finished.
Oh yeah.
Days Gone, started that, not finished. I'm still working through Persona 5 Royale on off stream. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to stream next. It's going to be Ghosts. So
Destiny Jaden saying, "Do you hear these excuses?" Yes, we do hear these excuses.
Terrible. And I love Neo. Don't get me wrong. I don't know why I'm putting it off. I don't want, like, when that game's done, that's it. I've got no other Souls like to look forward to, because who knows when Elden Ring's going to come out. It's a myth at this point.
That's true.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, watching, what have I just finished watching? I've gone back in time, basically. I'm starting to watch a lot of old anime from the 90s. Tenchi, Trigun, Hellsing. So just a lot of stuff that I watched when I was a kid and not watched again since. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, you can find me, twitch.tv/neondemon4. Twitter is at neon_demon4, and I stream, I'd say it varies. I tend to stream whenever I feel like streaming, but I do try and stick to my Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday schedule as much as possible. But yeah, feel free to follow us, and don't forget to follow the channel. We're also on Twitter and YouTube, and that's at AboveTheFold_1. So thank you for my co-hosts Femi and Adam, and this has been an episode. So yeah, next is episode 17. So catch us all next week, and that's it from us.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Later, peeps.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.